Remember your dreams, all the future plans you made?
المجال الجوي خش في المجال الجوي. الو حسن حسن طلع طلع فوق طلع
اطلع على السطوح ورا مليان ورا مليان يا الله اطلع على السطوح في ورا مليان
هلا
I just built a budgeting app.
What? How?
Base 44. Look, it pulls all our expenses into one place and breaks down spending by team.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Him and grant him peace, was carried out by firing more than 40 missiles of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force towards American Zionist targets, destroying the enemy's bases, systems, and equipment.
The IRGC says the missiles were preceded by attack drones and managed to pass through multiple layers of Israeli air defenses before striking their targets. Iranian military officials described the attack as creating what they called a real hell for the aggressors. Tehran also claims that the previous wave of the operation targeted US military facilities across the Gulf region. According to the IRGC statement, at least 20 US military targets in Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait were struck during the earlier phase of the campaign. Iranian commanders say coordinated operations across multiple fronts have changed what they call the equation of war, warning that US forces stationed across the region are now within their reach. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister, Sayed Abbas Araghchi, has accused the United States of attacking an Iranian naval vessel far from Iranian shores. In a post on X, Araghchi claimed the Iranian frigate Denna, carrying nearly 130 sailors, and visiting India as a guest of the Indian Navy, was struck in international waters without warning. Araghchi issued a stark warning to Washington.
The U.S. has perpetrated an atrocity at sea, 2,000 miles away from Iran's shores. Frigate Dana, a guest of India's Navy carrying almost 130 sailors, was struck in international waters without warning. Mark my words, the U.S. will come to bitterly regret precedent it has set.
Northern Iraq is under fire tonight. Iranian-backed militias, calling themselves the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, have launched a wave of drone and missile attacks targeting American military positions across the region. The group claims it carried out dozens of operations using drones and missiles against what it calls occupation bases in Iraq and the region. The attacks are centered around Erbil, the capital of Iraq's Kurdish region, where the United States maintains a major military presence. Air defense systems intercepted several drones overnight, but falling debris damaged homes and buildings in residential areas. Fear spread quickly among residents as explosions echoed across the city. Drone interceptions scattered debris across neighborhoods in Erbil. Homes were left with shattered windows and walls marked by shrapnel as residents surveyed the damage. Many say they were caught completely off guard.
So I woke up around 2:45 a.m. to one of the loudest bangs I've ever heard of in my life. It was an explosion. And so I quickly jump up and I see like all my windows are broken. And so then I go outside and I just see like a bunch of people, like 20, 30 men, soldiers, who are just, you know, looking for something. I don't know what it is. I think they were looking for the drone.
Another resident described returning home only to discover his house heavily damaged by falling drone fragments. A stark reminder that civilians are now being dragged into the conflict.
Honestly, It is hard feeling. I mean, it is not about the financial aspect of it, but it is about the fact that you go for a journey and come back to see this disaster, that you are being a victim of a catastrophic incident. This war that we have nothing to do with it. We are not responsible for it, we are not a part of it, and we were not the cause of it. We just pay the price for something we didn't do.
The militia group behind the attacks says its fighters have carried out nearly 30 operations in the past 24 hours, launching dozens of drones and missiles at enemy bases. The group also claims it shot down a US MQ-9 drone in Iraq's Salah al-Din province. The attacks come after the recent US and Israeli strikes on Iran, triggering a wider regional escalation. Iran-linked militias are now threatening Western countries supporting the campaign, warning that their forces and interests across Iraq and the region could become legitimate targets. As drone strikes intensify, northern Iraq is rapidly turning into another front line in the expanding Middle East conflict. Iran has drawn a red line in one of the world's most critical energy choke points. Tehran has reportedly decided to allow only Chinese vessels to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, while warning all other ships they could be attacked. Nearly 1/5 of the world's oil supply flows through this narrow waterway, connecting the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman. Iran's powerful military arm, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, says it now has complete control over the strait. Officials warn that any vessel attempting to cross without approval risks being struck by missiles or drones in waters between Iran and Oman.
The strait is closed. Anyone who wants to pass will be destroyed by fire by our heroic and devoted forces in the Navy of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and the Army. They will definitely face a serious and decisive encounter if they try to enter this region, and we will also disable their pipelines in the region and will not allow oil to be exported from this region, putting them in a tight spot.
The decision to allow Chinese ships through is widely seen as a reward for Beijing's support during the escalating crisis. China, the largest buyer of Iranian oil, has condemned the recent US-Israel strikes and warned that further escalation could destabilize global energy markets.
The Strait of Hormuz and its surrounding waters are important channels for international cargoes and energy trade. Safeguarding security and stability in this region is in the interest of the international community. China urges all parties to immediately stop military operations, prevent further escalation of tensions, and avoid regional instability that could have a greater impact on the global economy.
Washington has responded sharply to the growing threat in the Gulf. US President Donald Trump says the United States Navy could begin escorting oil tankers through the strait to guarantee the free flow of energy to global markets.
If necessary, the United States Navy will begin escorting tankers through the Strait of Hormuz as soon as possible. No matter what, the United States will ensure the free flow of energy to the world.
The Strait of Hormuz remains the world's most important oil transit route, with about 20 million barrels moving through it every day. Analysts warn that if the standoff continues, the region could face a global energy shock and a dangerous naval confrontation in the Gulf. Reports confirm an Iranian Shahed-136 kamikaze drone has struck the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic of Azerbaijan. State media identifies the target as the terminal of Nakhchivan International Airport, where the impact sparked a significant fire. This is the first recorded instance of an Iranian drone exploding on Azerbaijani soil. While authorities assess the structural damage, the incident marks a sharp escalation in regional hostilities. Diplomatic relations between Baku and Tehran face a severe test as Azerbaijan's foreign ministry summons the Iranian ambassador. In a formal note of protest, Baku labels the drone strike a violation of international law that directly threatens regional stability. The ministry maintains that Azerbaijan reserves the right to take appropriate response measures. The strike, which hit near a school and the local airport, has left at least 2 civilians injured. Wreckage from an Iranian drone has been recovered in the village of Shakarabad, where a projectile fell near a local school. This second impact followed an earlier explosion at the Nakhchivan International Airport. Local reports confirm at least
Now, remember earlier that I said agents can call agents? Well, that isn't just a one-off. Increasingly, we're seeing agents calling.
الصيادة الآن على الهواء مباشرة. يبدو بأن هنالك صواريخ سقطت على الأرض. نعم، يبدو بأنه لا أدري لأنه كذا أو أدري، ولكن آخر نستطيع أن نراه الآن على الهواء مباشرة وميز للمزيد من الانفجارات والآن هذه كلها صواريخ باليستية أو صواريخ كبيرة يتم إطلاقها من قبل الإيرانيين قريبة جدا على مدينة القدس. انظر إلى هذا الوميض. دفاعات جوية كبيرة جدا الآن على الهواء مباشرة، وذلك في محاولة ليست القوة الحديدية، هذا مش تطبيق لا أدوات وذلك بسرعتها. هذا صاروخ باليستي، هذا الذي نستطيع. انظر إلى الصاروخ الباليستي، هذا هو الصاروخ الباليستي، هذا هو الصاروخ الباليستي. يبدو بأنه تم إطلاق الصواريخ. هذه عملية الاشتباك التي صاروخ شرقي وصاروخ غربي. هذا الانفجار الذي تراه انفجار كبير، هذا صاروخ فلسطيني ينفجر الآن على الهواء مباشرة.
الرياض.